Hi, folks. Welcome to Geeky Discoveries, where I'm discovering how to do my show from a whole new network and new streaming service. Um, so, yay! Let's try to figure this out with Kelly. Oh, let's get rid of that. Hi.
Hello.
Uh,
It's a learning curve on Be Live, but we love it so far. It's got some superior things to our old streaming service that we won't even bother naming because dead to us. Dead to us.
yep. On
Just to
to
be clear, the streaming service is dead to us because just they raised the prices. Just no bueno.
yeah.
Oh, go
Bigger,
on.
better things. And I know I said that the last time I did my show, I was thinking about doing more pre-recorded stuff, but this this topic was very much important to do. Unfortunately, Kelly was the brunt of a lot of the rage bait that inspired the topic. So we will get into that in a moment. Um, we're going to bring up Lucas because he's very much into the whole rage bait himself.
Hi.
Not doing it himself, but talking about it,
Oh,
I
both. A
assume.
little both. I think we're supposed to have some confessional somewhere in this conversation. I'm sure we'll get to that. Hi, it's good to see both of you. And
Good to see you too.
before,
For those of you who don't know Lucas, he's he's the host of Brewing Controversy.
yeah, Brewing
And
Controversy is my whenever we feel like it podcast with my good friend David. We talk about current events, politics, all of it with a socio-political lens, and we drink and review craft beer, hence the Brewing Controversy. Occasionally, we do that live at a brewery, uh, not as occasionally as it was when we didn't live 550 miles apart. But we have a lot of fun with that. And we too left the bad place when they raised their prices. I'm not sure if we're not supposed to say it, but the duck people can duck off. And,
You can say it. I was
we
just being
found better
goofy.
prices than StreamYard on the internet.
yeah.
We actually signed up with Restream, and they did a special for people that were leaving StreamYard, which, as a marketer, that really made me happy.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I think a lot of streaming services are getting a windfall right now,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah.
and I'm here for it. Like,
So, Kelly, let's talk about your shirt for a moment. Oh,
um, first of all, if you want, I will tell the story of it, but I'm gonna plug my girl Emily because she had a fast turnaround time on this. I actually did the design myself in Canva. Willow, I know you sent me a design, but then I was like, I wanted something a little more
uh,
starry and kind of
oh,
patriotic.
I
But
understand that. Like I took I took a picture of a donkey, and
yours was cute too. But yeah, I wanted to do my own design, and so my girl Emily of Victory Born Cosplay. So if you look her up on Instagram, Victory Born Cosplay, she was like, "You're getting this for Christmas," after she saw my ordeal. So I will try to do the short version. So for the past almost year, Creely and I have been writing a cosplay column for Comics Illustrated. When we started, it was a supposed to be a monthly publication magazine, and we're like, cool, like let's get her unpaid, to be clear. Which we were doing pro bono. We're like, cool, let's get our work in print. Let's spread some cosplay positivity. We didn't know a lot about Mike and Mindy Wheeler, who they're infamous. If you know the name, you know.
yeah,
Um, we did not know what we didn't know. And right away when we got into business with them, I had some reservations because some of the stuff Mike was posting, I was like, not great, but clearly was like, okay, well, as long as he keeps the politics away from the magazine, that's fine. I was like, okay, that whatever. We can stay professional, whatever. But then almost immediately they stopped doing the magazine because print sales, they were not selling enough prints, and they moved to a website, which okay, we'll just roll right along. Well, as long as they keep their politics away from their website, we'll just keep on keeping on until we have a reason to stop.
Yeah.
Because we agreed to do this, and I just unfollowed him, and I'm like, whatever. But so recently, unless you've been under a rock, you've heard the slogan "Your Body, My Choice," and that got really popular after a certain election.
Yeah.
And we all can agree that that slogan is about rape. It's about controlling a woman's body. Well, Mike thought he'd be an asshole because another writer in comics posted that because the slogan is already on t-shirts because of course we're in the bad place. So a comics writer posted, he's like, if you approach me wearing a t-shirt with this slogan on it, I will not sell you a book. I will not sign your book. I will not take a picture with you. Like, I'm not doing business with you. This was a male writer, which props to him.
Hey, at least it wasn't what I've been told by people, which is I'm just going to knock you the hell out if you show up in front of me with that or say that.
I mean, same.
They were
yeah.
more civil
It's
than some.
It's a threat. It shows, like, people don't always come with a warning label. If you're dumb enough to put your warning label right on your chest, I'm going to believe you. If you tell me who you are, I'm going to believe you. That's cool. So Creeley was polite. She was like, okay, I'm going to.
Okay. I'm just going to bring up Keisha. Sorry, I'm not trying to. Keisha and.
Welcome, Keisha.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, hi.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. I haven't been on a live in forever. I don't even know if my stuff works anymore.
I missed you so much. I haven't been on a live with you in forever.
That's true. Since at the beginning of the year.
Since last January.
Yeah, wow.
Yep, I missed you.
It's crazy. I miss you guys. So yeah, one of the reasons I went MIA is because of all of the poopy darn heckin' stuff that goes on, and everybody was getting a little bit
crazy.
Touchy.
It's been a crazy year.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, I just need to step away from all social medias and just like back up. I think I was off for a couple months because I was like, I cannot.
You have a baby to take care of, and
well, you guys, I'm a very sensitive person. Okay, I may not
you have a good heart.
Seem like it, but I'll sit there and like these people will just say awful things, and I'm like, what? Like, is this for real life? Because like, you can't be that horrible of a person. Like,
and the problem is some people think that what you say online doesn't matter. And they're like, it's not real life, it's online. Well, okay, but there are real people seeing it.
I was watching something last night and it was a lady and she was on another guy's live or whatever that I watched. And she was like, oh yeah, I make jokes about racial slurs and stuff like that because I think it's funny. Ha ha ha. And he's like, no, it's just funny and showing us who you are as a true person. And she's like, that's the kind of like, you just don't get my humor. And I'm like, no, that's just you being an awful person. No. I'm sorry.
I've had some guys tell me it's no big deal that guys say your body, my choice online because they're just being edgelords and they're just joking. I'm like, you don't understand. It is a big deal because maybe the guys behind the keyboard would not act on it, but they are trying to make people feel unsafe. And
you can't know the difference. There's no way to know that. You can't pre-qualify the intent there.
And Mike Wheeler, that was one of the arguments he was making. So he made this post making fun of the writer who said he wouldn't interact with someone with the shirt. He's like, well, it's just words. So he's like, hell, I'll sign the shirt. So Crayley was like, well, if someone approaches me wearing this shirt, I would see it as a threat. He's like, why are you scared of words? It's just, this is a writer, mind you.
Why are you scared of words? You make your money off of words.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
like
that's the
people.
Yeah.
This reminds me of
this is a writer saying that words have no power. So and then he tried to gaslight Crayley and claim it was a pro-life slogan, which how? That's a lot of mental gymnastics to go through. So finally, Crayley and I had already decided behind the scenes that we were going to quit. And then I went to bed and I woke up to him pinging our group message that we had between the three of us and his wife with just a whole conversation where he was continuing to gaslight Crayley and make fun of her, say she was afraid. Finally, I just exploded on him. I was like, no. I was like, you know exactly what the phrase means. We quit. Stop gaslighting my partner. And then I like removed myself from everything. He sent me another message saying, well, hey, why don't you fuck off? I'm like, I kind of already did. I removed myself from everything. I quit, whatever. He's like, well, we'll see what the court of public opinion says. And that's when he posted this long tirade calling me a delusional liberal twat with the immaturity of a toddler. And apparently next time he interviews someone for a job, which by the way, we were unpaid volunteers and the only writers who were actually updating on his website, like nobody else had updated in months. But next time he interviews someone for a job, he's going to ask them about their politics to make sure they're not a delusional liberal twat. So if being against rape culture means I'm a liberal twat, liberal twat.
And I love it. I love it.
So,
as soon as I saw that,
fair,
like I need to make that a shirt.
To be fair, I love your shirt. But I hate all politics, both sides, which makes me fun to hang out with. No, I'm just kidding. But so I am one of those people where I can't get into politics just because the fact that I have such a moral standing, just how my brain works. I know you guys, most of you know that I'm neurotypical or not neurotypical, neurodivergent.
And
so
neurodivergent,
like,
though.
I have this weird sense of like, I try to find the good in everybody, but I also see the bad in everybody. Like I can see somebody's true colors and I see that a lot. And so my brain is like, I know that politicians are not looking out for me personally. None of them. And my brain is like, well, how do I do that? Like, how do I be there for, like, my brain is like, I want to vote for all the good things. Yeah. Like, my best friend was like, Keisha, you have to vote because that way we get IVF covered and all this other stuff. And I was like, that is the kind of stuff I can vote for. But I do write myself in for president. So if anybody ever wants to vote for me so that I have more than one.
Oh my God. Why is you're the second person I've ever heard say that? Is this a thing?
It is. I wrote myself in. My best friend messaged me the night of the election and she goes, Keisha, there was over a couple thousand people that wrote themselves or somebody else in. And I was like,
did this actually happen in a small town in the States where a guy was jokingly saying that he was going to run for Congress or mayor of his town or something, and it actually came true?
I've seen places in the U.S. be run by a cat, so
I mean, yeah.
It's I wrote myself.
Well, and I'll be clear, I didn't tell them anything about my politics. I did not tell them I was a Democrat or Republican. They just assumed. They also assumed that I had no kids.
I do need to
no
put
kids,
something out there quick. If somebody is a butthole, I automatically assume they are one specific type of person. And you guys can probably tell what that is.
Republican, it's okay.
Well, and
No,
I will
because
also say
most of my family is Republican, and so I don't want to like be hurt. No, it's one of the one of the parties, guys.
So we have a
But
50-50 chance of guessing right. Okay.
See?
And I will also say the Democratic Party as it is garbage. I do vote Democrat, but they're garbage.
Well, and that's kind of what connects to that thing I mentioned, voting, writing myself in on a local election. So Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I am, is divided into 3 wards for its local city government. And there are 2 commissioners from each ward. And we had one of their terms come to an end, a very pro-business, but not conservative per se, rep was ending his term, turned out, and somehow we got lucky enough to elect a working mom in his place who does not have a full-time job, just part-time consulting. So her city job now will be her full-time job, which is really neat. But there was a point in time during the election, and I've become friends with her, and I was doing some strategy here and there, contributing to her campaign, but she was not I was not running the whole thing, even though I've learned since that a lot of people in this town thought I was her campaign manager. So at some point, her opponent, who is a corporate lawyer, nice enough guy, but corporate lawyer, his whole claim to fame is fighting against worker disputes and that sort of thing. And I would say things kind of gently on the internet. You know, speaking of rage baiting, I was very contained and conservative about what I would say. I would say, he's a nice guy, but I don't want a corporate lawyer representing the working people on the west side of town. Therefore, I'm supporting the working mom. And at one point, there were dirty mailers that went out on his behalf by a PAC that they got into all sorts of creepy shit. Like they had these really contrived pictures of dudes stalking kids. And there was one that got into kind of like this.
There's an example right here.
Oh,
and this one that gets into a weird fat shaming zone.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. And so
as somebody that is of the overweightness, that saddens me.
Yeah, and I was really like, that's so cheap and childish. But one of our county representatives posted about the mailers on her Facebook, and she admonished. She said, "This isn't the way it needs to be. These are not okay." Her picture was on one of them, so she's like, "I didn't give authorization for my photo here," and I reposted everywhere I could find it. I reposted her admonishment, and I said stuff like, "Hey guys, look, Carol has roasted Dean for his mailers," and I gave him smart ass intros. She got mad at me for that. And the problem I have with that is, A, she's like 1,000 years old, so she doesn't understand the internet, apparently. Like, you put it on the internet, you're an elected official. I'm going to go out and amp it for you. So she got mad at me about this. Well, I took her sign out of my yard at that point. I'm like, well, then fuck off. I'm not going to put your sign in my yard if you're going to admonish a constituent for boosting the right opinion. And I stayed mad at her because other things happened that I'll spare you for time. I ended up going into the voting booth, writing myself in at her office, and then I took a picture of it, put it on Instagram. And at a meeting just this week, at a business association meeting, she said, well, you know, that writing yourself in thing just didn't sit well with me. And I was like, this is why I can't wait to have coffee with you again, because I would love to find out what makes you think the things that you think. Because we are on the same side, and you just don't make sense.
So you didn't win, is what you're telling me?
Aw.
She won with 80%. Like, she doesn't need to worry. But
so next time I'll vote for you, you vote for me, Keisha for president.
There we go. By the way, I also brought my
vote.
own politically oriented
I love it.
rage baiting shirt that I love to wear to public meetings when the time is right.
That is funny.
It is beautiful.
Okay.
It takes people by surprise because they just think it's a regular Duncan t-shirt.
It's
So they
true,
think, "Oh."
unfortunately.
And I bought it at Dragon Con.
Okay, I want to show off my shirt. My shirt is not a voting thing, but it could be. You know, we could vote for the Wicked Witch. You know,
Nice.
Yes.
Because Wicked,
I love
you know,
it.
bad
I
witch
just have a green
vibes,
shirt on.
bad witch vibes, like, you know.
Well,
where it's
I didn't
Can I get
find my there. I do have a shirt that says what's the definition of a Canadian, and it's an American with healthcare.
Okay, Willow.
Oh, nice.
First of all, Willow, I love you. I was relaying all of the messages on your Facebook to my husband.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, honey, why is it that somebody in Canada cares more about our local government than the people that live here?
I was so the last couple of years I've been so invested in American politics. A lot. It seems like it was a lot more than my own politics up here. We don't have we have the mudslinging like you guys, but it doesn't last as long as you guys as your your shows tend to last, it seems. But like we only have
wait, it calms down at some point.
no, the thing is, like, okay, so next year Canada will be doing our own federal election, and it's not.
I never hear about Canadian.
Well,
yeah, like
we don't have news agencies saying what side or being on one side more than the other.
You can tell which one they're on here.
Yeah, we don't have our well, okay, so the conservative, we run on a three political. There's three main political parties in Canada. Liberal is in power right now. We have the New Democrats and the Conservatives.
You mean somebody besides the or what?
Yeah,
you have a party that people can actually win in.
But here's the kicker. Okay, so if we're voting in who gets to be our prime minister, it depends on who's running for the PM or for jurisdiction in each province. Sometimes the person running for your provincial government sucks more than the person running for a federal. So it's like,
that's both fun and
it's aggravating.
We all know
like the person who wants to be the next prime minister. I can't fully put my whole trust in the NDP, which is the New Democrats.
We know you're just paying attention to our politics so that you can have some indication of how many of us you're going to have to hide in your basement.
That's true.
In the next 2 to 4 years.
So that's not even a joke anymore.
No.
So my son has been asking me to go to Canada.
Telling them
like,
things.
I was like, I have somebody.
If we have, like, we're trying to pay attention to see if we have to reopen the Underground Railroad because.
Oh, same here. Yeah. I learned that Michigan is very active in the Underground Railroad. Not a thing that I was taught in Southern education because I grew up in Tennessee. But apparently, very active here. I even told a friend he was extremely scared and asked me to get Signal just so he could message me. And his whole reasoning was, I just need to know where my friends are.
Yep.
On the way to Canada. And I'm like, look, dude, if I don't have you, I got people that got you. Like, we got you. If you need to pass through here, we got you. I don't know if it's going to get that bad, but, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've seen a bunch of different places actually offering free, like, they're like, hey, guys, we will give you $1,000 to come here and free tickets to get here, and we will let you, we'll just let you in. And my son is 15, mind you. He keeps sending me these, and he's like, when are we leaving?
Did he send you the town in Italy? There's like a little town in Italy that's willing to sell.
Yes, that's one of the things I think I saw.
They're fixer-uppers.
Wow.
I was like, I'm down.
my province actually put out a call to people from the Philippines to come up here and work. So, I mean, I sooner would say, hey, come from those of you from America should come work in our.
So what you're saying is they're going to start routing shitty customer service calls to Canada.
By the way, you guys, I found out I'm safe.
From?
Because I am so Keisha-esque that people automatically assume things about me, I guess. And they were like, you're a farmer. You're a stay-at-home mom in a cisgender relationship. You're a this and you're a that. And they automatically assume I'm some specific thing, not mentioning it. And I'm like...
Well, it is unfortunate that like the population represented on the screen right now, we are the ones that
you know what, at this point just don't correct them because
I'm afraid to.
Yeah.
I'm honestly afraid to. I was at somebody's house today and I was like, they were talking about things and I was like, is it because I live on a farm? Am I just grouped into this specific group of people?
You're assimilating. The pork has assimilated you. I don't know.
Oh yeah, just let them assume it though. It's easier to live amongst them. I told somebody the other day, I'm like, this is the only way people can tell who I am. I can mask so well.
There you go.
I was in special ed for my stutter. I had special shoes as a kid. My spine is curved. There's a lot of stuff. But if you don't pay attention to me, I can blend right in.
When I saw your back,
yeah, I'm already sad that I can't wear this in my small town.
I have
neighbor.
My
neighbor's doll. They have 2 Trump flags flying high. 2 Trump flags.
Yeah, wait. You
okay, imagine your delusion enough to put that many flags of a specific party up in your.
Okay. After the election, like that is their entire personality. Like.
I have somebody down the road from me that just marked out the name Pence and replaced it with Vance, and I was like, "That's not any better."
No,
I've never once in my life felt the need to make a politician my entire personality.
No, me either.
I don't even like politicians.
That's the same thing as making sports a sport. Your complete and total personality.
You shush your face.
I hit a button. Wait, I hit a button. What happened? No, tell me what happened.
That's rage bait right there. Have you ever been a Bear fan living in Pittsburgh? Because that is painful.
Because of a sports game, usually. A sports game does not legislate people's rights away.
No.
That is.
I was raised in a Red Sox family.
No, it does if you are a Bears fan at a Pittsburgh party, and then they win. The Bears won, and I am the only Bears fan in a room full of.
Then you're in danger. Then you're.
Everybody sat there and looked at me, and it was like the first time the Bears had won anything in like a bajillion years, and I was like, "I'm so sorry," and all you hear is knock, 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 knock on the front door because I'm down the street at a friend's house. And my little brother's like, I came to make sure you were alive.
You guys think that your sports rivalry is intense?
Oh, no.
Come up here for the Banjo Bowl.
The what?
Is that hockey?
No, football.
Oh.
You have football in Canada?
Here's the kicker about our football.
Okay, but is your football American football or is it soccer?
Neither.
Right?
Technically, our football is more rugby.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It was on TV
that's
rugby. And I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Like we do have some of the same rules as American football, but it our football came from
Do you
rugby.
get to hurt people?
Our team tends to do that. Yes.
Okay, then that's all that matters. It is football.
We will totally take out the
That's
referees.
Aubrey, I do
Oh.
want to compliment you for outdoing. I thought I had the gayest thing in this show with my beer
Oh, nice.
until I saw your backdrop.
I can't find my shirt because I'm moving right now. But I have a shirt and it's got different arms up in the air and it's got different dice, colors, rainbows, and it
Oh, wow.
said trans, and it goes down and it says when one of us roll, we all roll initiative.
Oh, that's
Yes.
My friend had the shirt and I was like, can I order that shirt? And she was like, I will order you one right now. And I went, here is $20. I want that shirt. And now I'm moving and I was going to wear it, but I couldn't find it because I never get to wear it with the podcast. The other ones, I was like, I can't do that.
You
But,
want to know the worst part,
Oh, what?
though? Is that I took my kids. My son's best friend is trans.
Mhm.
And she is the most beautiful creature on the planet. Like, I love her to death. And we went to Pride. We took my son and his best friend to Pride this year. And my daughter was decked out to the nine. I could not post pictures on Facebook for fear.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's so sad.
Because you would be rage baiting. Hey, look at that. Yeah, it's funny because, and I've already tried to rehearse in my head to prepare for this Thursday. Potential ways to not just yell at the obnoxious Trumper I'll be forced to be around with my partner's family.
Oh no.
This is a woman who has worn the red hat to so many family gatherings.
Oh, you have a trumpet. Oh,
Oh
no.
yeah, and
I'm so
she
sorry.
talks about how she wants to get a Trump tramp stamp tattoo.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
No,
Last
why?
Thanksgiving, one of the Thanksgivings, we've been up here for 3.5 years, so we've been able to every Thanksgiving since. And at one of those Thanksgivings, it might have been last year, I don't remember, but when we went around the table for what are you thankful for, hers was President Trump. And so I told my partner, like right after the election, I was like, I need you to talk to your aunt and figure out, like, is she going to be there first? Like, thing one, is she going to be there? Thing two, is there
Damage
like
control.
any kind of plan from the host of how to manage this? Because I don't know if I'm prepared to sit there and have her thank Trump again when she talks about her thankfulness. So I've been rehearsing in my head.
Also, it's rude to just smack people during their things.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get
Not
it.
if they, not if they
Hurling-
say they're thankful for
Hurling a
Trump.
bowl of mashed potatoes just seems inappropriate. But so I tried to be
especially
kind of
if they're
in my
good
head, like,
mashed
what am I going to
potatoes.
do when she does the rage bait? Because she will. She's always walked around the house saying random things. What's my plan? And so the trans thing that you mentioned about the photo, that makes me think about, like, today I was even thinking through, like, if she's not like punch drunk and I can talk to her for a second and ask, have you ever wondered why you're so invested in these tiny little topics that aren't really that big of a deal? Like, people voted with you this time because they're financially suffering. That's a big deal. The like 0.0008% of kids that go and get actual affirming care is not a big deal. But you're really invested in it. Help me understand why.
Right?
Especially when Elon Musk himself has used the gender affirming care.
Guys, I had to physically stop myself the other day in Walmart. I ran into somebody who has been a friend for a very long time. She's a very open-minded individual. And she sat there and she goes, oh, it's been crazy. And I was like, yeah, it really has. And she's like, I voted for the first time in like 10 years because I thought our world depended on it. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. And then she said she voted for a specific person and my heart dropped and I was like, Well, now I don't know if I can look at you as a person that I can trust, and that's scary.
Oh yeah, like we had so during the pandemic we have we had our own version of MAGA. They called themselves the Trucker Convoy.
Yes. Oh my God.
That was
Familiar.
And they
ugly.
came to Tennessee.
And it blocked the bridge over here in Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So every so often they appear from the depths of their basement and try to make all these noises. So yeah, they camped out in front of our legislature building here in Manitoba. They camped in front of in Ontario, and it was just them honking their horn, making noises, and being annoying as hell. So in Manitoba, we have a little provincial park called that commemorates the center of Canada. Okay, so it's not exactly in Winnipeg, but it's just outside of my city. That it's a big deal. So every so often they have their yearly meeting in the summer, and I know some people who are part of that group, and then there was a political party called the People's Party that said that they were actually trying to run for both our provincial government and federal at one point. And they're like, yeah, we want to make sure that our rights are protected. And it's like, what rights are being taken away? Those are the people who you actually do have to say what rights are being taken away, because nothing is being taken away from them.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I think, our topic of choice tonight is twofold, because rage bait has become a platform.
It's a culture now.
Yeah, never mind like talking about like is it Twitter, is it Reddit, like where do you find the most of it, how does it express?
I know specific people that only post it, and I'll talk to people behind the scenes and they're like, oh yeah, no, I don't actually think that or believe that, but that's what essentially gets me the attention. And I'm like,
right,
that is wrong on so many levels.
I have something about that. Thank you for mentioning that. So I live in a little town in Tennessee, right? Okay. And I'm not going to mention the name of the town, but y'all know, okay, I've mentioned it before. Well, this town is the first year we've ever had our pride, which it was acknowledged by the town that it existed, but it's our third year. But that's okay, whatever.
But that's good that it was acknowledged.
That's good that it was acknowledged.
That's progress.
We had more hate people coming in with bullhorns and trying to record angry liberals and what angry liberals were saying there. And the people of this town are so narrow-minded that they decided that it wasn't enough to just hate on the normal posts on our town, but they had to create a whole page of I hate blank the town, so they could
so sad
whine and moan and groan about the people of the town as people of the town. And
yeah, that's just because you guys are awful and gross human beings, obviously.
So they needed more. They needed a whole page devoted. They do it all the time on the regular pages, but they had to have
having that kind of negativity. So can I talk about this for a minute though? So the way social media I'm going to get nerdy. The way social media platforms are built is twofold. First of all, they show the negative posts more often because, and then they like every so often slip in a positive post just so you keep questing for that dopamine. So they want to keep you addicted. So if you have a page that's monetized, it is in your and you want to keep it monetized, it is in your best interest, if you want to do the shortcut route, to post negative things, to keep people angry and engaged. And so that's why we see a lot of negativity and a lot
And
of
that's why
rage
we never
baiting.
see Keisha's stuff until it's like last fucking
That's
minutes.
true.
That's
That
why
kind of hurts my feelings.
Until the
that means you're
last
post-
moment where she has actually popped out the child. And, hey,
Keisha, that's literally saying that you post positive stuff and Facebook hides it because it's not rage.
Not negative enough.
It's
So
true
this is-
though. So I
It's
made
true.
a post. What was it? Somebody did something horrible to me. I can't even remember. I have one of those memories where if somebody does something bad to me, my brain goes, "You don't need that information. Push that to the side. Hey, look,
coping mechanism.
flowers." So, but somebody did something to me. Oh, somebody broke into my house. That's what it was. I am still best friends
terrible.
with that person. They stole a lot of things. But that's not the point. No. So, guys,
Every
you
time
know I'm
Keisha
broken.
talks.
It's okay.
Yes.
So,
Go on.
no, but I posted something about somebody breaking into my house and stealing a bunch of stuff, okay? And I said, well, I hope they needed the stuff because, you know, good for them. They have the stuff. Hopefully it kept us. It did keep her safe, to be honest. And I'm glad she took what she took, okay?
You have such a
But,
good heart.
like, they pushed that one a bajillion times out.
Yep.
And I was like, okay,
Yep.
that's strange. Like, I post
Facebook.
puppies and kittens all the time. And it's like, what? Why? Nobody wants to see this crap. And I'm like, well, that's rude.
That is
But if
Facebook.
So you guys, some of you see my post. So a lot of the time I'll be like, so guys, I did so and so today, and it was probably something completely awful that happened. And that's always the one that gets pushed out. But then like I post delicious food and I get like 2 likes, and then I'm like,
yeah,
man,
You
more
know,
people should
I
like my
don't know-
food.
Right.
I don't know the science.
Which is why you
per
should go
se.
directly to people's pages to see their
Right.
stuff. And the more you interact with something, the more Facebook algorithm learns. But, and other social medias. But so people who are on certain sides of the political fence who are really buying into this negativity, their social media is showing them the negative
Yeah.
stories. And then the more they interact with, like Lucas, you were saying about the stories about kids getting gender affirming care, they're seeing the negative news all the time. They're getting this
Right.
barrage of just negative stories. The world is ending because X and Y. And it is like they're getting this powerful message. They're getting this whole other reality painted for them. Or like Will, the trucker convoy, also is getting this whole other reality painted for them through social media. And then you get in, and this is not me. Okay, so then you get the Russian bots who, this is not me being a conspiracy theorist. This is actually like US intelligence. The Russian bots are infiltrating every social media, pushing out these negative stories to sway the elections. And that is also happening. So this is why we have people who are so divided, who are believing just very, very negative things that will cause them to vote one way or another. And that's where the rage bait is just getting ridiculous.
It really is.
You have bots pushing it even further and further. So that's why it's happening. And then it spills over into real life because people are addicted to social media. Like it's actually changing our brains. And then they're like consuming this all day long and they're believing these stories and then they're carrying it over into, you know, their offline life and they're carrying it to Thanksgiving dinner, to every day. And they're just like, can you believe that students have kitty litter in their classrooms because they identify as cats, which is not
You
true.
just made me think
Funny.
of something. It hurts my brain. Okay, I really hope my father-in-law does not watch this. He sat there the other day and said, people that aren't Trump supporters believe you can get an abortion up to 5 years of age. And he
What?
believes it wholeheartedly. That's what they're pushing out there to them. And I was like, no, that is what?
Okay. I have
I
one.
know it's a little late for him, but
Oh, sorry. What were you gonna
Okay,
say, Aubrey?
so the first time that person, the orange guy, ran and won, my father-in-law was talking about sending bricks in the mail to him, and I was like, do it because you will end up on a watch list so fast, and I'm so excited for that.
Oh my god.
No,
Why
he was
did
like,
he want to?
they need to build
Bricks
that wall
for the wall. Yep.
Oh,
my god.
Oh,
not
I
realizing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
would have said go for it. Send all those bricks. That's a great idea.
that's what I said. I was like, you know what? That is a genius idea. You do that. I support you wholeheartedly.
I have a question. Okay, along that line, Keisha, the extremists. Okay, I have friends on both sides of the aisle. Okay.
Me too.
And a lot in between where they don't even want to vote either party because they're so done with everything. But have you heard this thing? And I've heard this from specifically, I'm not going to mention names, but a Republican. I'm going to say that at least. I'm not going to name the name of a person or their gender, but I will say that. Have you heard that supposedly the liberal people are scared that they're going to put trans people in concentration camps?
They said something about people with ADHD too. And all of us ADHD folks on TikTok were like, yes, do it because we will take you down
over the world
fast.
We would take over the world if you put us all in one place.
You would give us a common enemy, and all of us have so many skills that we would be like, okay, we don't need you anymore. Let's do this.
I mean,
and
do it if you want it, but don't.
All of my farmer friends with ADHD were like, you know what? If you do this, I got a 6-bedroom farmhouse. I really do have a 6-bedroom farmhouse. This person was like, I got 10 bedrooms in this house. She's like, let's do this. Bring me all the ADHDers. And I was like, yes, we would give us a common enemy. Do it, please.
Bring me, you're tired, you're poor, you're hyper focused.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god.
So guys, but yes, they have actually been talking about reforming people in these camps.
Wait, no, but who is? I want to know where this camp shenanigan is coming from.
I actually watched a specific video of said person saying those words. That word salad came out of his mouth.
No.
Oh my god.
Wait,
Yes,
the circus
it
peanut?
did. Huh?
The head circus peanut.
No, not the head circus peanut.
Oh, okay.
One of his little cronies that he just put into.
That's what I call that person. It's an orange circus peanut, and it's the head of the circus.
Was it Earworm? Was it Earworm that said that?
I believe it was.
Really?
Oh my and God. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, you know what?
Have fun with that.
So I don't really think
have you heard the phrase herding cats?
I have not, but I feel like that would be.
Oh yeah.
How about herding cats on speed?
Yeah, right.
Okay, you know what it is? It's each one of those little think tanks of farms would be like the Pied Piper, because each area we would begin to make things better secretly by just being us in that little area. You just don't start what you can't finish. All right.
My favorite thing is
Peanut Man.
My favorite thing is I tell people all the time that remember, when I hyperfocus, I sew and I do needlepoint. I have proven that I am willing to sit there and stab something thousands of times without blinking.
So I don't really pretend to know the science. Like I'm only regurgitating partial thoughts here, but scientifically, these problems are rooted in who we are as a species. So I've listened to much more qualified people talk about the fact that we are hardwired toward negativity because we are not far enough away from our ancestors in red alert mentality of survival. So we gravitate toward the negative because we are built that way as a species. And in a way, it's our technology has outpaced our evolution. So we've created these mediums and these spaces to provide negativity to a species that's not prepared to be objective about it. We're still dragging our knuckles around with our club on our shoulder, and when something bad comes up, we want to talk about it. And then the other problem we have is the tribal piece. We are still a tribal species, and this is something I try to get people to understand all the time as a marketer, because I get yelled at by my friends like, everything's not demographics. It's stupid that you talk about generations. Generations don't exist. And I'm like, look,
I've met the generations.
A special world where things like this are not real, and I'm going to deal with the fact that the science says that we like to group people and be around people like us. That's how we're wired. And when we do that, we do it with generations and shared experiences. And then people like me look at that and figure out how to get you to buy shit because of your shared experience with all your fucking peers. So it's something we can't get away from fast enough for our tech. And we've destroyed ourselves in that regard with our tech. Now, there's a lot more thorough science than all the crap I just spewed, but the reality is we're attracted to it. I mean, I used to be, when I ran my conventions, my Comic-Cons in Nashville, I was doing a lot of learning, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I did varying degrees of dumb things that brought me negative consequences. Some of those things I would never do again. Some of those things I might do again because they were the right thing to do. They just made somebody a little butthurt, but it was necessary for success. But at the end of the day, I would always complain, like, how come nobody remembers the 5 great, nice things I did today, but the 2 negative things I said in that meeting have haunted me for 3 weeks? And I would have to get it explained to me, like, well, because the negative has too much value. But it has that value not because of anything social, but, like, literally we're wired that way.
Yeah.
And we've done nothing to
That's why I take myself out of the situation. So my brain is not what I don't know if it's the neurodivergent part of me, but my brain is not wired to do all the negative. And if I get too overstimulated and overwhelmed easily, my brain will just go, no. And then I literally, like, you guys know, because I messaged most of the people in this chat and I said, guys, I need to step back and I need to just get myself right, because I was like, there's so much going on right now, so much. And I was like, I just, for my mental health, I need to take myself out of that situation. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to do that anymore. And I will go completely silent for months on end just so that my brain can take a negativity break. Because
I mean, that's smart.
I have
so proud
to.
of your self-care, Keisha. Like, whenever you tell me you're doing that, I miss you. But I'm like, you go, Keisha. You play with your cute animals, your cute kids, hang out with your awesome husband. Like, you do your self-care, goddess.
Now here's
but like, people don't understand that, and they're like, I have people all the time, they're like, yeah, you're only going to be off for like 3 days. And I'm like, dude, there was one time I was off for 10 months.
Yeah,
I was off for 10 months because I was like, I cannot process any more of this information. I'm going to go crochet in a corner with my classical music and
you
my fire burning.
Back because Carl and Donna made you because you were releasing a book.
That honestly is a true statement. They were like, you have to because you're releasing a book. And so, little known fact, I write every day, literally every day. It's just part of my routine, and I stick with a very strict routine. By the way, this is out of my routine right now, and it's kind of killing me. No, but so like, well, Willow knows that my bedtime is 8 o'clock.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Which is why I haven't been on any lives lately, because I have a very strict schedule that I'm generally always on.
I completely understand you. Like, okay, I may not understand fully what it's like to be a parent, but growing up in foster care, and being a nanny for a couple of years, I decided at that point after my run of being a nanny that having kids just wasn't for me. And Aubrey, like the fact that you three have children and you dedicate your lives to your children is amazing, and I will never fault you for that.
I don't know if I would go as far as dedicating lives. I'm just going to put that out there.
I don't know how my kids are still alive. Honestly,
you guys are amazing. You guys are my heroes, because from the short amount of time that I've had to put up with children, I could not do it. I could not.
I call mine my little crotch goblins.
Be a parent with my patience.
Oh my god, I love that, Keisha. Mine are punks.
Mine are crotch goblins.
I'll look at them and I'll be like, and they'll be like, Mom, wait a second. Does that how do you get to call us a punk? It's like, because I'm a punk. So I know you're a punk. Because I know I'm the person that was the little kid that was like, why? I wanted to understand everything. Why? How does that work? So, why? And then my parents were like, asked, shut up.
My son was asked a couple years ago what his family motto is, and you want to know what he told him?
What?
Please don't die. Yeah. Because every time my children do something, I don't sit there and go, okay, you're not allowed to do that. I go, look, just please don't die. You want to climb that mountain? Just please don't die. Okay? And I do that. And like, I'll be out in public and my child will be doing something completely unhinged, because my children all take after me. They're all ADHD and riddled with so many things. And I'm like, I'm sorry, kids. but they'll sit there and they'll be like running laps in the store, and they'll be like 5 aisles away, and I hear them and I'm like, just don't die. And then people look at me like, my 1-year-old is just crawling on the floor like 3 aisles down, and they're like, are you gonna go like get that? And I'm like, honey, don't die.
Keisha, you and I have the same parenting style.
We need to have these stories come up on our feed.
Okay.
There is a couple that I follow on TikTok called Mom and Dad Chats, and they will tell stories of their adventures in having children. And yeah, there's one story in particular where they're at a grocery store and one of their kids just got obsessed with ranch dressing, and they're marching down the aisles, ranch.
I guess as long as they haven't ripped open a package of the powder.
My son's catchphrase last summer was ranch. My son's catchphrase last summer was, "Hey, what the fuck?"
How old is this kid?
And
mine is my dude.
That's better. That's better.
What the fuck, kid?
Well, I don't curse. My daughter literally came up to me the other day and she goes, Mom, Eloise is being a pain in the tuchus. And I was like, oh my God, I broke my children.
I love it. I love that.
To be clear, so I curse, but mostly not in front of my kids. He learned all the curse words on YouTube. Okay?
Oh, like YouTube.
Okay,
sorry.
I have to go take care of the crotch goblins. My daughter would not survive. My daughter would not survive a scary movie. We found this out the other day. Her favorite thing to do is watch scary shows on TV. So we were watching scary shows. She's 7. She just turned 7 this month. So I did like any normal person that is not neurotypical would do. I downloaded a ghost app. It's a pretty sweet app, by the way.
Oh, that's
so we're sitting there watching this scary movie show thing, talking to dead people, and it goes, come closer in the kitchen. And my daughter's happy butt stands up, jumping all around, goes into the kitchen and said, what now?
Oh my God.
I was like, honey, that is...
Logan would love that you just give me the name of that app.
I do apologize because our stream, like, I'm not paying attention to the time at all. Our stream is set to disconnect in like 13 seconds. So I apologize.